Oh my god, and the demonic things that people are releasing into those toilets. I'm like, dude, go get some goddamn raisin bran.
Oh my god. Hey guys, this is Elijah Vargas from the Goal of Swole podcast. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Jesse Villezcas. I am from Omaha, Nebraska. I went to Bellevue West High School in Bellevue, Nebraska, and I'm currently coming to Creighton as a nursing student with hopes of being a pediatric nurse.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So as someone that's also in your friend group, I'm aware that you had a birthday that was pretty recent. How did your birthday go?
Honestly, it went pretty well. Everyone here, they like baked me a cake and like watched one of my favorite movies of all time, Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and they thought it was so stupid. They kept comparing it to the movie that you showed them, Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh yeah. That one's one of my favorites. I always thought it was funny, but you know.
I loved Kung Fu Hustle, and I'm like, wow, they really have no taste. Other than that, I didn't really do much with my family. We just went out to dinner, and that was it because my sister has her quince like tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And so we're prepping for that, and then held like an actual birthday for me.
Yeah.
Coming December.
Yeah, no, that's always a big deal when when the quinces come around and
Oh yeah, and I'm the chambalan, meaning that I'm the main person who has to dance with my sister.
Yeah.
I'll be wearing cowboy boots.
That should be fun. Let me know how that goes. Whenever I see you next. So how has work been going? Because I know. Can you explain like where you work and what you do for your job?
So I work at this place called Aqua Tots. I teach little kids how to swim. Youngest I've ever taught was about 4 months. The oldest that I taught was right into middle school. She was 13 years old. And basically I just teach them everything from floating to swimming on their back to freestyle, breaststroke, butterfly, backstroke, everything.
That's really cool, man. So when did you start working there?
So I started working there around February last year. I applied for the job in January, but I didn't officially start working there until February. And the whole reason I got the job is because I lost my wallet in a movie theater. Never found it. That had all of my IDs. That had all of my money in it. And I had just gotten $200 for Christmas, and so I lost that money too. And we go to the Mall of America for New Year's. My mother, feeling bad for me, gave me $200 of her own money that I still have not spent to this day. And so I said, I need to get a job.
That's funny. So that whole circumstance led you to like want money and you wanted a job.
Yeah, but honestly, one of the greatest decisions I made because I truly do love my job and I love the kids that come with it.
That's awesome, dude. It's the same for me when I was working at the martial arts school. Dude, just teaching kids how to like kick and punch and like self-defense and respect and discipline, all of that. It's like, I don't know, there's nothing like it, honestly.
It's fun watching them grow.
Yeah, exactly. From each time you see them and then like from like when they start to where they are now, it's like insane.
Oh yeah. I have this one kid that I had since they started going there. They were at a level 3 because levels 1 and 2 are baby classes, and within about a year now they're at level 6.
Dang, bro.
So that was something nice to see.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's the same with me looking at the kids that go from white belt to black belt and I remember teaching them like their entire like since they started. So it's really awesome to see. I want to get into your background because I know whenever I do these podcasts, I make sure to go through like who the person is and like why they're here, why they chose. Well, since I started here at Creighton, I've been asking like why they chose Creighton and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get into your background. Is that okay with you?
Oh yeah, perfectly fine.
Okay. So where did you grow up? I know you said Omaha, but can you elaborate a little bit?
So I grew up right here in Omaha, specifically in South Omaha, which is like the most Mexican part of the place. And I was raised by two full-blooded Mexican parents who immigrated here to the United States. My dad, when he was 18 with his parents, and my mother when she was around 10 to 12 years old, completely by herself.
Wow. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Especially like in our day and age, looking back, or it's crazy to see how things have changed, you know what I mean? Where now like you're on your own when you're around 18, and then but like in certain situations back then there's
It was different.
yeah, it was just different, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you kind of describe your childhood, how you were raised, what your family was like?
So I come from a business family. My parents, my dad likes to do a lot more physical work, like he's into construction and all that. My mother, she does the business side of things. For example, she has a tax office and a store, both of which she usually runs with my dad. And that's actually where they met, my mom's store. And currently we just have several businesses, one being the store, one being the tax office, and another being basically real estate, where we like buy and rent out houses. And so that growing up, well, one, when you come from a business family, you get really good with numbers.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's helpful.
From when I was young, I was always able to like do quick math problems. I actually even remember the moment I became conscious. Like I was just sitting in the back seat of my parents' old Denali, and suddenly I just wake up and just like, oh my god, I have hands. Growing up, I had my main four siblings. My older brother Pepe and Manny, they were both from my dad's side because my parents were married to other people before, so they are technically my half brothers, but I called them my brothers. And those two, they really helped me like learn what it meant to be a man, because those two were raised poor, and they had been through it, and they helped my dad out a lot with construction. Now my brother owns a tattoo shop, and my brother Manny has this wonderful son named Ace, a really smart kid. Too smart, honestly. And then there was my sister, who kind of treated me like she was my second mother, because whenever my actual mother wasn't around, she would always take care of me. And then my brother JD, you've met him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growing up, he was the main person I would hang around, but he hated me.
He hated you?
We did not like each other growing up. Like, we fought a lot. Sometimes it would just be because he was either messing with me too much, or other times it was because I touched his stuff. But yeah, another thing that was actually pretty weird to me growing up was like bringing friends over, because because during elementary school I was like, oh my god, you actually let people in your house? Like my mother, like being a businesswoman, she was always very busy, so she didn't want to have to like babysit a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't allowed to bring friends over until I was about 11 or 12.
Dang, dude.
Yeah. And I was actually the first one of my siblings to be able to do that. Like, my brother and my sister occasionally got to, but it was either like birthdays or they had to like beg my mother. And but with me, my mother I found out that my mother was actually very lax with me, and meaning that like if I needed help, she would give it to me, but she also pretty much like let me kind of just grow up by myself, kind of like let me figure things out for myself. I was actually pretty spoiled growing up, though. I'll admit, I was very, very spoiled. If I wanted something, like I got it like that, and that's another reason why JD actually hated me growing up. But eventually, like I calmed down. I don't ask my parents for much, and honestly, it was a really fun childhood, because I was always surrounded by family, and I was always surrounded by people who I know they love me.
That's awesome, dude. I want to move on to like, what hobbies have you like enjoyed throughout your childhood?
my first ever hobby was going into the neighbor's yard, finding like the three coolest sticks, leaves, and rocks I could find, and then bringing them back and laying them on my mom's desk. Um, growing up, I really like to draw a lot. I actually, oh, there goes the light. Growing up, I used to I love to draw. I still do. I love to draw, but my main thing is that when I was younger, what I would like to do is that if I saw like crayons, markers, and pencils, I would just do like little circles to see the difference, like red crayon, red pencil, red marker, just to see the difference. Um, then I started watching. Baking videos on YouTube. I got pretty into baking for a while, just making cupcakes whenever there was like a family function. Although because it's baking, like there's also a lot of cleanup.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I actually don't know like where this came from. I always did like music growing up. But whenever I would go to school, my parents would always take the long way around, and so one day I don't remember like how, but somehow I just started singing in the car, and so I try to just kind of improve my voice by myself, and then next thing you know, I get into music. Middle school comes around, I'm in choir and all that. And then eventually I got into show choir in high school, and that led to me becoming a theater kid by accident. I saw my freshman year, I saw a production of the show Little Shop of Horrors, and so immediately from that point, I was hooked. And I ended up loving theater ever since. And throughout high school, actually, I started writing a book series. Simply just because I had a new laptop, I was messing around on Google Docs, and around the time that my sister got married, we had to drive up to this place in California, and the drive was so long that I just started writing like random stuff. And eventually, I thought, why didn't I just make this into a story? And so I started getting a ton of ideas. And I basically write my own equivalent of One Piece, considering that it was like 13 books. But I compressed that all back down to 5, and so like I basically am currently like redoing all that. But yeah, that's basically just like how I got into all my hobbies.
That's really interesting, dude. I know that one of my friends back home, shout out Nate Bauman, he's been writing like this script because he's a big, I don't want to say nerd, but he's a big movie like fanatic. Like
Yeah.
he loves watching movies and he loves like everything about them. He has like this he could show you on his phone. He has this app where he just like ranks all of the movies, and he has like hundreds of movies on this thing, and he can tell you, like, if you ask him, where do you have Pulp Fiction, he'll tell you, oh, it's like top 10, you know? Like he can always tell you where it is, no matter where it is, like on his ranking thing. But one of the things that he's doing is he's been making this script for this movie for, I don't know if he's still doing it because I haven't talked to him in a minute, but I remember like every single day at school we'd be talking about, oh, I gotta redo this whole part. I'm like, oh shit, what happened? And then he'd like explain. But yeah, dude, I forgot what it's called, but I gotta see where it is now. Like it's gotta be pretty cool by now.
Yeah. I mean, I bet, and like honestly, I get that feeling so much, because when you write, you're always, the biggest thing that a lot of writers have is they're scared of another person seeing their work. All right, for me, like it took me about 3 years before I had someone look at it, and they told me they liked it, and I'm like, you've got to be lying to me.
And when did you start that again?
It was back in my freshman year of high
freshman year, so that's like senior year you had someone read it?
Junior year.
Junior year. Oh, okay. And then now I'm guessing you definitely have people read it.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get people to read it.
Yeah.
Everyone's always so busy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I bet it's a lot to read too, and like on top of what everyone's doing. That's how this has been for me because I just want to sit down and talk to somebody for an extended period of time, and it seems like everyone's just got studying and stuff to do. Which I mean, I wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, most of our friends are biochem and nursing majors.
yeah, it's like Creighton. That's what you gotta expect, right?
Hmm.
I want to ask, what do you think is like your favorite high school memory?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would definitely have to say this was actually during my freshman year. Um, so back in high school, before my freshman year, I had to audition for show choir, and I was actually one of two freshmen that managed to make it into the varsity team. And I was real nervous about it because I'm seeing like all these kids that are like a foot taller than me, and a lot of them are really good at singing. A lot of them are really good at dancing. I remember like my first ever dance practice, I could not move my legs for about a day. um, so one of our competitions was over at the University of Nebraska (UNO), and and we actually won first place at that one. I remember that because we were just anticipating because we hear the announcer like list off the schools at in their places, third place, second place, and then he gets to first place. It was between us and I want to say a school from Papillion, and so they announced that Bellevue West won. Everyone is so happy about it, and because COVID hit, we're actually still the reigning champs to this day.
What?
Because
Dude, that's so cool.
yeah, because they don't do the competition. They don't do the competition anymore. So yeah, we're still technically reigning champions of that.
That's awesome, man. I wish I could say the same for Bartlett. I mean, actually, low key, we got a few things back home that I think we're like really good at, like cheerleading and like dance or something. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it, but I want to see it for wrestling. We got Emma Ingles, state champ, last year. She was only a sophomore. She came through. She won state, which was awesome. Shout out to her. I had her on the podcast a while back, but um, what do you think, or how many people from, you said Bellevue West?
Yeah.
How many people from Bellevue West are going to Creighton?
I know there is three. Um, there's this guy named I I'm not particularly friends with anyone. I just remember them
Like
because
acquaintances?
yeah.
Yeah.
There was Ethan Stankus. That guy was was a theater kid back in high school. Did a lot of tech stuff, and he was really good at it. I'm betting he's probably in an arts major right now.
Yeah.
Then there was this girl who I believe is in nursing because I've seen her in like RSP. Her name is Karen Durambalanos. And we used to be friends in middle school, but like we stopped talking in like high school. But like yeah, like they were both pretty cool. And then there was this one guy who like I knew from my English class, but I completely forgot his name.
Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah, there's no one for me. I think I'm like the only one from my district maybe that came to Creighton, so I can't, yeah, I literally came here and didn't know anyone. It's pretty crazy. Um so what made you choose Creighton? Was it like distance or was it like
So
something else?
distance actually had a huge role to play with it because one of the things that I was dreading about college was like leaving everything behind. But my sister actually came here when she was in college, all 4 years, business major. Now has this nice house in California and is now with her second kid. And so my parents also wanted that for me, but still I kept my options open. because I thought I was gonna end up being a music teacher. So I thought I was gonna go to UNO or UNL, the University of Lincoln, which are one is an hour away and the other one's like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
The other school that I had on my mind, because really, honestly, I never really thought about college. Like I honestly hated school so much.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
And so I'm just like, honestly, just as long as I get like a decent education, I think I'll be fine wherever I go. But the other one I actually was planning on going to was Arizona State, because I have a lot of family in Arizona, and so I thought it would be good to head down there. And I did like their campus a lot. I actually almost did go there, but then I started talking with my family. They said, why you gotta be a teacher? You're too smart for that. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh man, wonder what my mom's gonna think of that.
I know. Being a teacher was something I wanted to be for such a long time, but like a lot of people put a lot of doubt, and so eventually I decided So eventually I had to like start thinking like what would be a good backup, and so I would have done architecture because I like designing and stuff. But here's the thing: I suck at physics, and Creighton doesn't have an architecture department.
Yeah.
I thought about Baker, but then again, I don't really have like time to practice that anymore. So eventually, I'm talking with my sister-in-law. Her name is Jessica. She also went here, and she was a nursing major. She told me she was a pediatric nurse. She gets paid a good amount of money, and she's allowed to pick her own hours. And I'm like, that is perfect. And I still get to work with kids, so that's awesome. So that's why I decided to go into nursing to become a pediatric nurse, because one, more money, and two, I still get to work with kids.
That's really cool, dude. I actually really like that whole progression. So since can you just verify you're a nursing major, correct?
I am a nursing
major.
Okay.
Yeah, just making sure, right? I don't want to fucking skip a step. So what sort of classes do you have to take as a nursing major?
So two that I'm currently taking right now. One is chemistry, and the other is anatomy. Chemistry is really easy for me because it's just numbers. Anatomy is a whole different thing because it's a lot of memorization.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They don't give out homework. They give a quiz every now and then, but they don't give out homework. They give you 4 exams, and you basically have to like do good on all of them in order to pass. Just make sure that you know these systems, and then these systems, and then these systems. The other 3 classes that I currently have to take, one is sociology. The other is a critical issues course called Brides, Princesses, and Mothers.
Oh yeah, that one.
And the final one is math for the modern world, which you take with me.
That one's a blast, bro. That one's a blast.
I mean, it's honestly really easy.
Yeah, it's so yeah. I just took the quiz and I think I did pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, who would you say is your favorite professor right now?
Definitely Dr. Solsky.
Chem?
Yep.
Yeah,
Sharon
okay,
Solsky.
yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, Sharon Solsky, she is my absolute favorite teacher. Not just because I have a soft spot for old ladies, but also because she is very sweet, she is patient, she is understanding, she is great at teaching when it's a one-on-one, and she used to be a high school teacher, so she knows what it's like for one, like
moving in, yeah, the transition.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually, that brings up a question. Do you think what made you decide to move into Creighton?
So I actually wasn't planning on moving into the dorms until like the last possible second. Oh my god. So what happened was I was planning on moving into my parents' houses that they own with three other people. My friend Matthew, who currently goes to UNO, my friend Jason, who's currently taking a gap year, and my friend Nathan, who's learning a trade right now. The four of us were going to live in that house, but then Jason and Matt decided that they want to wait a year, and then Nathan, like, he wasn't able to move in because he broke his arm and he couldn't like move into his stuff.
Shoot.
That was one reason. The other reason was, again, a bit of pressure from my family. My sister said that one of her biggest regrets about Creighton was that she did not move into the dorms during her freshman year. And so, originally, I was just kind of like, I mean, I'm just gonna go there for school. I mean, I kind of don't want. I wasn't really planning on like immersing myself completely.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go to the classes, come back home, help out. Help out my parents a bit, write, and then do my own thing. But eventually, they did summer preview. I walked around the place. I saw the dorms. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not so bad. Okay, so I will. All right, so I will move it. So I will move into the dorms, and then but initially, they told me that my immunizations were incorrect because they did not tell me until the last second that I needed a second tuberculosis test. And my doctor wouldn't give me a Hep B titer because I was already immunized, but they needed to know how immunized I was, and so I had to go get a Hep B titer from a different doctor down at the CHI Health Clinic.
Oh yeah.
And I did not get that all down until almost the last day, and then they finally told me, yeah, sorry, we ran out of space.
Oh my gosh.
And so my parents were actually really mad at me for that, and said that if I don't get into the dorm, then my friends can't live with the house even after this year is over. And so I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go. I gotta get on that. And so I basically was like praying every night, hoping that a spot would open up. And then eventually, a spot did open up, and that's how I became roommates with Miguel.
How are you liking DEGALMAN right now, or so far?
Currently, I love it because like all of my friends are really close by, and everyone at Graves loves to come over here to study.
Yeah.
And everyone from Swanson too.
Yeah, apparently.
The only thing I don't like is why people keep destroying the bathrooms.
Oh yeah, I get that.
What do they gain?
5th floor, yeah.
Like
it's crazy.
Like, what do they gain? Honestly, when we had that floor meeting I honestly kind of looked at our RA thinking like, dude, don't go through with this. It's just gonna make it worse. Someone's gonna say something, then someo's gonna do something, and then we're all gonna get in trouble for it.
It's so screwed.
And then that's exactly what happened.
That sucks.
They talked about it. About not even like 20 minutes later, 4 ceiling tiles get ripped out of the ceiling. That's so wild, bro. And now I have to pay $43 because no one wanted to snitch.
Yeah. Is that something that's still going on? Like, are you still having to pay for what's going on in the bathroom?
I haven't gotten any new bills recently, but the bathrooms are still a mess. Like, they took away our soap.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They took away our soap.
It's been gone for weeks too.
Yep, they took away our soap, and so we're still. Every time I go in there, I still find like toilet paper on the floor, piss on the seats.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh my god! And the demonic things that people are releasing into those toilets. I'm like, dude, go get some goddamn Raisin Bran.
Oh my god! What? Raisin Bran?
I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, it's still a step up from what I saw back in high school. I remember one time a dude actually, like, he took a dump and then poured ink in the toilet.
Ew,
It
bro.
was black, dude.
Ew.
It looked like cholera.
Oh my gosh, bro.
And honestly, like, all of us were horrified to go into that bathroom for weeks. And then vaping became popular, and then they just went back in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, no, we had, like, this weird period of time where, like, teachers would tell us, like, stop doing this, but there were kids that were, like, taping their like, vapes to, like, the bottom of, like, the toilet seat or some shit, or, like, under the toilet, or, like, to the wall of the bathroom,
Oh.
just so, like, they could come back to it later, bro.
Oh, no.
You know, like... and then they go and put it back in their mouth. They want to hit it. Yeah, no, I thought that was pretty, like, degenerate.
I can just imagine some poor idiot losing his vape because some fat guy decided to sit on that specific toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, like, I don't know if you have this. You definitely have this here, but, like, we had dog checks every once in a while, so.
Dog checks?
Yeah, no, like, dog, like, the sniffer,
like-
like, the sniffer dogs would come and, like, they'd smell, like, the lockers and shit or whatever. They do
Yeah.
checks like that.
No, we never had that. But considering the stories I've been hearing, about the new freshmen at my school, I'm like,
They need one.
they
They need it.
they might need metal detectors, dude.
Oh, man.
Like, oh my god, I think like a kid actually just got arrested at my old school for supposedly bringing a gun.
Oh my gosh.
But apparently, like, someone just, according to one of my friends, someone told the principals that the principal or the teacher that they did, and they had, like, police officers surround the dude and bring him outside.
But he didn't actually, or he did.
I'm not entirely 100% sure. I'm just kind of, like, playing by ear because I still got some friends that still go to high school. They were, like, a year behind me.
Yeah, me too. That was off on a tangent, but no, but, like, it was interesting conversation. So, dude, that was awesome. So, I kind of want to move on to, like, your plans for the future. I know we touched on, like, you want to go into nursing and, you know, like, everything with that. So do you plan to stay in Omaha for the rest of your life, or do you want to kind of be like your sister who moved to California?
To be honest, I legitimately don't know. Because honestly, it depends on. It honestly depends on my family for a bit, because my parents are, like, fairly old. Like, my dad's almost 70 and my mom's almost 60, but they still work a lot, and so it kind of scares me a bit to move out, because I still want to be, like, around for them. But at the same time, it would be nice to live in some place like Arizona, because I love it. I love Arizona because it's never cold there. I hate the cold, dude. I don't like it at all. That's the only thing I hate about my job, is getting out of the pool
Because it's cold.
Yeah, because whenever I have to give the kids back to their parents, I'm, like, shivering, saying like, your child needs to kick more. But yeah, probably I'll just end up staying here for maybe a while. Or maybe I might go someplace that is, like, completely new on the map.
And warmer, right?
Yeah. Maybe Texas.
Okay, so I kind of, like, asked, like, do you want to stay closer to your family, right?
Yeah.
Would you want to start a family of your own?
Oh, most definitely. Like, that is one of my biggest dreams, like, starting a family of my own. I actually want triplets.
Triplets?
Yes, I want triplets. Okay, I don't care. I want triplets. Okay, I've taken care of twins at work, and I love them so much, and I know the parents are constantly like, you ain't seen nothing yet. But honestly, I want to deal with all that, because I would truly love them, because I taken care of my nephews before, and I did love taking care of them a lot, just whenever I had the free time to watch them.
Yeah, I get that. But why triplets? I'm just curious. Like,
Um,
you watch twins, but what makes you what? Why triplets?
because one thing I've always loved twins. Like I have a twin sister. Her name is Suki, and honestly, I always loved how twins were portrayed like in TV shows like Gravity Falls or in Greek
Oh
mythology,
yeah,
or
yeah,
in Greek mythology, Artemis and Apollo.
yeah.
Um, I always just like love seeing twins, and honestly, like I want to take that I want to take that a step further and like have triplets.
No, but that I mean, of course, dude. That's awesome. Of course, like if you can, you should, bro.
Yeah, I even thought of names for like every single combination. Like if it's all boys, all girls, two boys, one girl, two girls, one boy.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's cool, dude. Like what?
Um, for for all girls, it would be after the three most influential women in my life: Irma, my mother, uh, Patty, after the teacher who taught me how to play the accordion, and then my vocal teacher, Anne. If it was two boys, one girl, I would name them after my three favorite characters from Dante's Divine Comedy: Dante, Virgil, and Beatrice. If it was two girls, one boy, I would name them after the sun, the moon, and stars. So, Selene, like the goddess Selene. Um, Estrella, which is Spanish for star, and Elio or Elias
Ooh, I
for
like that.
sun.
I like those three. Those ones are my favorite.
And then and then for boys, name them all Jesus.
What? That's funny.
Because all my brothers are named after Jesus in some way. My brother Manny, his middle name is Jesus. My brother Pepe, his name is actually Jesus, but we call him Pepe. And then JD, the J stands for Jesus.
Jesus,
I was
yeah.
supposed to be a Jesus, but they were like, no more. And so they said, fine, let's just change two letters, Jesse.
That's funny. I never knew that about. That's crazy.
Yeah, I actually don't really know how I got my name. Like, there's three possibilities. I was either because my middle name is James, so I was either named after Jesse James the Outlaw by my dad. My brother Manny probably named me after the two characters from Team Rocket from Pokemon, or my mother named me after Elvis's dead twin brother Jesse.
Oh,
She
okay.
loves Elvis.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe it's all of that. Who
Maybe.
knows? Who knows? Um. So, aside from having kids, what else do you think that you want, like in your future?
Honestly, a nice house, family that visits often. Hopefully, still keep in touch with people from Creighton. A job that I don't hate for the rest of my life. um, honestly, like if I find out that nursing isn't my thing, I'll probably end up going into teaching vocals because I still love teaching.
Yeah,
And honestly, I would love to teach someone how to sing.
that would be cool, dude. Why not do both? Do you think you could do like nursing and then have like a side where maybe you like teach people how to do vocals?
Maybe, but I'd probably have to start small.
Yeah, of course. Like what are those jobs called?
Side hustles?
Like a side gig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a side hustle, yeah.
Yeah. I actually planned on like over Thanksgiving break to study more about music theory and then see if I can get one of my sisters to be able to sing better cuz she can sing pretty good, but like I know like a few ways that she could be better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you should definitely do that, bro. So okay, this is kind of like a random question. What kind of things do you have like that are on your bucket list?
Um I'll be honest. Skydiving is a very hard maybe. Like the idea of the parachute not opening scares me to death, literally. But honestly, I feel like if I did, I would be laughing like the whole way down because I remember my first ever roller coaster that I ever rode. I was laughing the whole dang time.
Yeah.
I was like a little maniac. I was like 9. Definitely one would be to finish my book, like the series, if possible. I'd honestly love it to get so popular that it gets turned into like a movie series.
That'd be cool.
Not down the Avatar path though. Go, like, you know what I mean when I say
What
that?
do you mean?
Yeah, you know the show Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they tried to make a real life version.
Oh well, yeah.
It flopped.
Yeah,
so
no, yeah.
bad, dude.
But the show was fucking epic, bro.
The show was epic, but everyone hated the movie. They refused to believe that the movie happened now. That's why like everyone's
I get what
scared
you
for the
mean
new
now.
Netflix version right now.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Percy Jackson. They messed up like so bad.
Aren't they gonna redo that? Or no?
They're gonna redo that, but Disney has had like such a bad reputation lately for screwing up so many movies lately. That,
Yeah.
Again, people are.
I think the first Percy Jackson movie was all right.
And then you have Chris Pratt, who's currently gonna voice Garfield.
Oh, what the? Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Let's see. Another one would be to perform on a big stage. Just in some way, whether it's me playing Orpheus in Hades Town, which is another thing, or being older and playing Jean Valjean in Les Miserables, or to win a big competition that allows me to play at like that allows me to sing at Carnegie Hall.
That'd be cool.
Other than that, I honestly say that like those are the top 3 on my bucket list.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like skydiving's on a lot of people's bucket list, but I'd probably put it up there too, cause like it's just something I want to experience at least once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, skydiving or bungee jumping.
Yeah. Oh, bungee jumping is. Why do I feel like that's more scary?
Easy, because you're at the mercy of a rope.
Yeah.
I mean, at least with skydiving, you get a little bit of time to pray.
Yeah.
But, like, you go down hard enough and just.
Yeah.
I think I actually did see a video of a guy whose bungee cord did snap, but it was like right at the perfect place. He was like this close to the ground. It snaps. He walks away completely
I feel like
fine.
my stomach wouldn't be able to take that though.
Oh yeah, like I'd probably die from shock from that.
Maybe I don't know about shock, but I feel like my stomach, like if I ate something like right before, I could feel it like move into my stomach, like up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No waiting for 3 days after that. Before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but I'm just picturing that in my head.
I actually don't even know how they get people like back up. Like, do they lift them up or do they bring them down?
From the bungee?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll try that at some point, but it also seems like really scary to me.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's why I should do it, right?
Right.
I don't know. Let's get a little philosophical. What do you think is like the purpose of life?
Okay. Let's see. I kind of just accepted the meaning of life as just being it is what you make of it.
Okay, yeah.
So if you want to spend your whole time moping about like everything you did, like that's fine because like that's your life. To me, how I'm gonna take it is that I'm still gonna like try my best with everything that I love, and hopefully I get some success out of that and look back on it one day. And I know I'll have regrets. Like no one dies like without regrets. But I'll look back on them and say I still believe I lived a good life.
Yeah. For me, honestly, I'd say well, yeah, there's the religious aspect, which is like like preaching or like showing people God and Jesus and showing that he's like the savior. But then there's also the part where I think is pretty important of just like having relationships with people, having friendships, and you know, like touching as many people as you can, like touching as many people, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like physically touching them, but like having a relationship with,
Having that emotional connection.
yeah, having that, and having like a connection with as many people, and then like I don't know how to explain it. And then there's also the part of having like a legacy where after you die there's going to be people that remember your name and who you were, and I think that's also very important to me.
Yeah, that's something I would love, just to leave behind a legacy.
That's okay. Yeah, that's where we would agree, because I think legacy is very, very important to me. What I'm moving on to the random. I know I said random earlier, and we were talking a little random, but what would you say is your favorite movie?
Ooh, there's different categories. But if I had to say my favorite movie of all time would just be Kung Pao.
I knew it, dude.
I
freaking knew
it.
it.
It has to end up being Kung Pao Enter the Fizz. Okay, I know. Like on paper, it's a bad movie, but it's so quotable. Okay, and I think that's like what got me into like doing obscure impressions, because the voices in that movie are so funny that I just can't help but not do them. I love them so much.
Dude, I don't think I had never seen that movie. But like I remember looking back and like seeing scenes that I've seen from somewhere else, and I don't know, like I've probably seen them on like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, where they just post clips. But yeah, dude, no, it was pretty funny, honestly. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Other contenders for action, it would be this one called The Night Comes for Us. That one's like it's a very good, well choreographed fighting movie. Or Marintao, which has the same actor from The Night Comes for Us, but has like a bit of a better story. For romantic, it would have to be My Girl. For comedic, it would have to be either Kung Fu Hustle or The Heat. Because I did not think Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock would make such a good team. I freaking love that movie. For Disney, biggest one, Toy Story 3, because that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will never forget that. Mostly because that monkey freaking scared me as a kid.
Yeah.
And then for DreamWorks, no competition there. Shrek.
Oh, Shrek. Yeah, dude.
And then finally for scary, As Above, So Below.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, we watched it down here around Halloween.
Oh, I was probably down here when you guys were watching. I just probably didn't know what it was called.
It's the one where Bobby wouldn't shut up, so
you
wouldn't have been able to enjoy it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because I've learned not to, I've learned not to watch movies with Bobby anymore because he does not stop talking.
Yeah, especially I don't know. It's a thing with I think especially horror, where if somebody's talking during the movie, horror is the one genre that I have to watch alone, because otherwise I don't get the full effect.
Fun fact, for The Quiet Place, did you know that people actually used to get pissed when
people ate popcorn
when
and
people
stuff?
when people brought snacks, because the movie was so quiet that you could hear people chewing.
That was a good movie too.
It was a genuinely good movie.
I like that one. I think my favorite horror would be, have you seen Sinister? Bro, that one is so I remember I saw an article because I was trying to figure out what the scariest movie was, and that one was ranked scientifically as number one, because they monitored the patient's heart rates, or the subject's heart rates, while they watched each movie, and then they compared it. And Sinister had the highest. The highest. It made their heart rate go the highest. And I think it's because the whole concept of the movie is just terrifying.
I guess so. But a horror movie does sound really fun to make.
Yeah.
I remember this.
I think it's pretty hard, because you can't come off as
It's got to be very well written.
very mysterious.
Done to the point where like you actually leave someone awake
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah.
There was this one dude I think in either Taiwan or China. There was a movie with props that were so realistic that they actually had to have the police come down to make sure that they weren't real corpses.
Yeah. Oh shoot. There's this one movie called Cannibal Holocaust. Horrible movie. And the director had to go to jail because they thought that the actors in the movie actually died. You can look this up on like Wikipedia, but like
Cannibal
literally
Holocaust.
yeah.
Like do you mean horrible as in like the writing was bad, or horrible as in like
Horrible as in every single thing that you see is just beyond comprehension the worst thing you've ever, like, you wouldn't, thinking about it, like, think of the worst thing you can think of now. That movie has worse.
eye bleach?
Yeah, basically. That movie. And then the actors had to come because the director told them to go into hiding in order to like trick people into thinking that they actually died in the movie.
Oh my god.
So they came out like a few months later and testified in court. Oh, yeah, we're alive, by the way. And then they had to release the director, but another thing in that movie is there was actual, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was actual animal deaths. Like, they have a death of a turtle, they have a death of a monkey, and a death of a few other animals that were just...
That's messed
It's
up.
horrible. But, yeah, I think there's that part of horror that's just like, what the fuck did I just watch? That's not even scary. It's just very, very messed up. And then there's the other side that's just like, kind of like Sinister or kind of like Conjuring, where you're watching it and you're genuinely scared while you're watching it. But then there's the other side that's just like you're watching endless fatalities, and it's like, what am I watching this for?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it would be really fun to make a movie, but honestly, I'm imagining that court case, like, Mr. Director, you are hereby found guilty of the murder of these 4
Yeah, I gotta
actors.
look up that case just
And
to like recheck my facts, but I'm pretty sure he got in trouble because they thought that what happened in the movie was real.
Imagine the pat on the back that he gave
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Because like he's like, damn, I'm a good director.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude.
Do you plead guilty? No, because they're right here.
Yeah, horrible, dude. It was way too realistic. Okay. I'm gonna ask this, and I'm not entirely sure if you have an answer for this, but do you think that there's like a specific movie that is very similar to your life?
Ooh, all right, that's a good one.
I feel like if I asked anyone, I feel like you're the one person that would have a movie.
I know I need to like prep this somehow. Okay. I'm currently like going through everything in my head right now.
It doesn't have to be like completely accurate. It could be like metaphorical, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. Does it have to be a movie, or can it be like a series?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. That widens my options quite a bit. Okay. Let's see. I'm like rolling through everything.
You think you got one though? Like you know the name or what?
I mean, kinda. I would want to say Adventure Time.
Adventure Time?
I say that because it starts off with with this goofy human kid surrounded by a bunch of like wacky characters, and you think it's just gonna be like it's gonna be like another SpongeBob where just random nonsense happens each episode. But no, you actually slowly go through that. You slowly go through that kid's life, and he's maturing. He's seeing stuff that he should not be seeing at his age, and then eventually he gets to that point where he's matured. He's just kind of like, I mean, life is what it is, but it's all about like how you deal with it and the adventure and the way you deal with it. And I like that. I empathize with him in the sense that his parents never really understood him, and he never really understood them, but he eventually just came to an understanding with the both of them, and just came to terms with it on his own. And also just him having some really good friends, and others who he did not like, who turned out to be something they weren't. Honestly, I find it really relatable, especially with the new series that came out, Fiona and Cake, which is basically just that same character, but it's him from an alternate universe as a girl, and they're in like a regular human world, and like yeah, regular human world. There's no adventure. It's just everything's normal. All the wacky characters, they're now just human. They're just human now.
What?
And I relate to the first episode, as in like she claims she hates every job she has. She feels like nothing is gonna change, and like once again she just has to roll with the punches. So that's why I like Adventure Time a lot, because I can kind of empathize with Finn a bit.
I like that analysis. Personally, I can't think of one. I just wanted to ask you because I figured you'd probably have one. That I love how you highlighted like you're around a lot of interesting characters, and how like you went through life and you're maturing and like all of that. I thought that was really cool. Personally, going off of that, I know like towards the beginning of the year, you asked me if I would help train you and help you start lifting weights.
Yeah.
So what made you start wanting to do that? Because I know this is the Goal of Swole podcast, so I kind of got to talk about lifting weights.
Okay, yeah, I get that. So one thing is, I actually was like, I thought I was like fairly chubby back in middle school. I eventually like got a little bit of muscle from like a lot of exercise over time, because I did cross country, I did track, I did swimming, and I did show choir, all of which were like physically exhausting, because you're running, you're swimming, you're dancing, all that.
Yeah.
But I never really like built any like long lasting muscle. I looked fit. I looked healthy, but I didn't look
like strong or lean.
Like strong, yeah. And so I figured with college, now I actually have time. I have access to a gym, so might as well aim for it. And honestly, I'm like pretty happy with myself right now. I'm still trying to get rid of the love handles though.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's actually really hard to do.
I know.
That's always been hard.
I hate it.
I think for that, if you want abs, like I've always been told, it's a lot of dieting, but not just dieting. It's like you need to diet, get good sleep. It's like everything to be healthy. You need to diet, get good sleep.
I'm a
you
college
need to
kid. I can't do either.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard, right? But you also like have to train like abs. There's also a lot of cardio that goes into it, obviously, as one would expect.
I hate cardio so much, dude.
Yeah.
Because cross country for 5 years in high school. I actually didn't do it my senior year because at that point, like,
you were done with it.
I was done. Like I didn't want to run anymore. And besides, everyone that I knew in cross country had already like left or quit. So
yeah.
there was no point for me to be there anymore.
Yeah, I get that. It was similar with me with track. I really, at the end of cross country season, I was like, "There's no way I'm doing track senior year."
Yeah.
Junior year, I was injured, so I couldn't do it anyway. But senior year, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this semester. No, yeah, high school was semester. Yeah, I'm gonna take this semester for myself, and I'm just gonna focus on me. And then I think it was like March, I started my podcast. That's when I got stuff rolling, you know.
Yeah.
And then goal is swole. I came up with the name, and then I want to ask you, like, what's your goal for lifting? I know, is it just to get rid of love handles, or is it to be like strong?
So it's a little bit of both. Mostly just to fix the design flaws. But also to be stronger because, as I mentioned earlier, my dad likes to do a lot of construction, and so he enlists help from like me, my brothers, and some friends of his, and I want to be able to like help him out by being able to like lift all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my brother Manny, he has workers muscles.
Yeah.
He has like legit workers muscles. Like I'm pretty sure if you and Landon like tried to arm wrestle him like at the same time, he'd probably just straight up
just knock it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, not really many goals for lifting. Like if I can get to the weights on the, you know how like they're set up with the light ones on the left and the heavy ones on the right.
Yeah.
And then they go heavier as they go down because there's like 3 latches.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make it to like the second latch of that one on the right, where like I think it's like from, I want to say 50 to 60.
Are you talking about a machine, or is it like
the dumbbells?
Oh, the dumbbells. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. So like we're like the 30s and the 35s, and then like the. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
probably to where you are right now is what would be a good goal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been like a year in the making for me though.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a pretty good goal.
Yeah. As for the love handles though, like honestly,
that's something.
Because like I got a thin waist.
You do.
I have a fairly thin waist.
I think you just need a little bit more conditioning, I guess.
Yeah, I remember doing like so many core workouts over the years, and now like it didn't do anything for me. Now I can just like do freaking L sits.
Yeah, I'd say what you could do is like doing rows. Like the rowing machine, those are good. Or like the battle ropes are freaking awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the battle ropes.
Those are exhausting. I've tried the Stairmaster like once, not here, but like at my old gym.
Oh god, at my old gym I used to do those until I got to like 500 steps.
Yeah, they're exhausting. Those are good too.
I actually like the only reason I was able to do those is because in high school for cross country, we had this huge hill, like it was pretty much on this much of an incline, all right? And whenever it was like really hot, the coach would always choose like that specific day to run up it.
That's how it was for us too.
You had to run up and down, okay? All right? And thankfully, she allowed us to go shirtless for that, but honestly, it did not help at all. Like we weren't allowed to walk on the way down either. So we just had to like keep going. Would make a good hill for sledding though.
Oh yeah. We always had this big hill. It's like it was on a street, so like we had to run up the street and then like around and turn around and then come back down. But I remember like especially for track, it'd be like in the winter, right? So it would always be like icy. There'd be snow on the ground, and we'd have to be running up this hill, and I'm like sliding, and then especially running down, it's just like a big.
Oh, dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes though, cause like people would fall, and we're a mile away from school, and you gotta just like hobble back to school.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I actually only went sledding like once in my life, I believe, when I was around 8 years old.
Yeah.
Partially, it's because like there's not really many hills in Nebraska. You just have really steep slopes that you could probably find.
It's the same in Illinois.
And too, because when it snows, but then like half of it disappears the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, ours stays. Ours stays for a while, and it's really annoying.
Ours, but it's only until like it's that big, and then it
Yeah.
just stays there for about a month.
Yeah.
Then spring comes and it all just goes away.
I want to ask, what differences have you noticed since you started lifting?
I know. Well, one thing I noticed is that at my job now, whenever I put on my rash guard and it's what like it actually gets tied around my arm now.
Oh yeah, no, that dude, I love that feeling, bro.
Yeah,
That's the best feeling.
I know, right? Honestly, I've had a lot more energy because of it.
Oh yeah.
Um, probably should start doing leg day again though because
Oh yeah. I can help with that. It's yeah.
it's just that I actually have to be able to go to leg day, but I can't because
Yeah.
like I work Saturdays and Saturdays are when you do leg days.
Yeah.
And honestly, my whole excuse for that was I did swimming, cross country, and show choir, all things that required me to use my legs for 6 years. Okay, I think I can get like a little break.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also genetics for me because I've always had like really strong legs, but I think it was partially because I had been in martial arts for so long, and a lot of that is kicking, and our master would have us do like squats and like just like a lot of crazy stuff to like strengthen our legs and stuff. So
Oh god! And I told you like how I learned how to do squats. My friend Erwin would like when he was teaching me how to properly like, go to the gym and work out. He gave me like this 50-pound duffel bag thing, and I would have to lift it up into my arms as I was doing a squat. And he made me do that 100 times, and it was like the first day.
yeah,
I could not.
that's
move my
dude. I love
legs,
shit
dude.
like that. It's just like first day at like a new gym where you got like, cause I remember like my old boxing gym was like that where like they had all the bags, they had turf, they had a stairmaster, and then they had a few treadmills, but you go in and then they give you circuits to do. So like you'll hit the bag for like 30 seconds, or like no, you'll hit the bag for a few minutes, and then you'll go and you'll do like kettlebell stuff on the turf, and then you'll go and you'll do the stairmaster, and then like you'll go back to the bags, and then but like every time it'd be something different, and I love shit like that because it's always so hard.
Yeah. Now my only form of cardio is whenever I'm at work and I have like a little bit of free time, I actually don't like taking breaks at my job. Like cuz one, I just love my kids, and I like to keep teaching them. But at the same time, it also gives me a chance to work on my own skills for a bit. And so I've gotten better at using my legs in swimming, and so now I just try to see like how many I can do before I mess up.
Yeah.
And the other, and I remember the other day I actually hit my head attempting a suicide turn on the bench, and it legit hurt my teeth.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Do you know what a suicide turn is?
No.
So, in swimming, when you do an IM, which is butterfly, then backstroke, then breaststroke, and freestyle. When you do that, you have to transition from your back to your stomach, and in order to do that, you got to do a backflip.
Oh, like underwater?
Yep.
Oh,
First time I
shoot.
attempted it, I hit my head on the floor.
Oh, shoot. Dang, dude.
Yeah, but I eventually got the hang of it. I still mess up every now and then, but now I like it's better. It's getting there.
Yeah. You just gotta be like a little torpedo, bro.
Oh yeah.
Dude, my dad was a swimmer, and my aunt was a swimmer, and I swear my dad, I don't think he ever expected me to be like a wrestler. But yeah, no, I was, cause me and my brother both got hurt this week, and both of it like was from grappling. Me from jiu-jitsu, and my brother from wrestling. And I got a text from my aunt saying, "Why couldn't you guys be why couldn't you guys be swimmers? Like, it's more safe, and I forgot what she said, but like you could also be fast at swimming. And I'm like, but I like to.
Ay.
I like combat sports. I like to hurt people. Right?
Yeah.
I don't normally put it that way, and it's not exactly how I look at it, but like I find it way more rewarding to be in actual like combat, fighting somebody that's around your size and stuff like that. But she obviously took offense to that. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really funny, but yeah, I don't know why I said all that.
Yeah.
I do want to wrap this up because I know you said you have to go, but
It's just,
I just want to ask, because I ask like at the end of each episode, I make sure to ask if you have like any advice you have for like our viewers, whether it's for life or anything in particular.
If you're really interested in something, I'd say go ahead and try it. Because if it wasn't for swimming, I probably would have enrolled into like the three main things that I wanted to do, which was either like hip hop dancing, gymnastics, or martial arts. But I didn't do any of that. I like stuck with swimming for 7 years, and I regret it a bit. I do regret it. I'll probably like try doing like the adult version of some of that, but eventually. But yeah, go for it if you're interested. And hey, if you don't like it, you can always back out. Another thing, and this is the thing I'm gonna put on my tombstone: don't weep for the stupid. You'll be crying all day.
I swear I've heard you say that before.
Oh yeah, I've said it before, and I make it very, very clear. Like if there's someone in your life and you know they're not gonna change, don't bother. Just like whatever happens to them happens. The last thing is that if you truly are passionate about something, do work at it. Like it's gonna be a pain in the neck, but eventually you do get there. Because for singing, I used to have this really high tenor voice. Like I probably could have hit the same notes as this one kid who was on America's Got Talent recently and hit like a heaven's note, which was really high. And if I had proper training back then, I probably would have been able to do that. But no, I actually lost my tenor voice in middle school. I was a bass in middle school, and eventually I did get it back, and I've been working fairly hard to try and like hit higher notes. And yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the neck, but eventually it does pay off.
That's good, bro. I also wanna say that's everyone should be willing to be able to try something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you never know. You literally never know if you've never tried something. You never know if you're gonna like it. And I literally do think that like everyone should try, whether it's martial arts, swimming, was it like acting in theater, try writing a book.
Yeah.
I think all of that stuff is cool. I wanna do a brief summary of what we went over today. We started with like your birthday, and your job, and then where you grew up, Omaha, Bellevue West, right?
Yeah.
And then we talked about, high school and all of that. We talked about why you chose Creighton and how you chose the nursing program because, was it your aunt?
It was my sister's sister.
Oh, your sister. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. And then why you chose to stay in Omaha for college. And then eventually we talked about like how you want to start a family of your own and how that's always been your dream. And then we moved on to like your bucket list, and then talking about like the purpose of life, and then movies. We talked about like horror and stuff, which is pretty cool. And then finally we talked about like lifting weights and some sports. So I think this was a good episode. I think a lot of people can learn from the stuff that we talked about today. I think you're also a very interesting person, so that's another thing that people can take away from. So I want to thank you for hopping on this episode.
Yeah, no problem. This was fun.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Goal Swole podcast. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to drop a like. And if you plan on listening to any future episodes, make sure to subscribe and click that notification button.